Every morning, my neighbor smiled and waved at me like we were best friends. I never imagined that behind that smile, she was quietly destroying my life. It all started with one tiny lie and ended with the biggest humiliation of her life. When my husband Oliver and I moved into our new home in Surrey, England, it felt like a fresh start. The neighborhood was peaceful. Tree-lined streets, friendly families, children riding bicycles every evening. It was exactly the kind of place we'd dreamed of. On our very first day, the woman next door walked over carrying a homemade apple pie. "I'm Rachel," she said with a warm smile. "If you ever need anything, just knock." She looked kind, friendly, the type of neighbor everyone hoped for. For the first month, everything was perfect. Rachel often stopped by for coffee. She knew almost everyone on the street. Whenever someone needed help, she was always the first to offer it. I remember telling Oliver one evening, "We're lucky to have such wonderful neighbors." He smiled. I was thinking the same thing. Looking back, I wish we'd never trusted her. A few weeks later, little things started changing. One afternoon, I waved at a woman walking her dog. She looked away without saying a word. Another neighbor who had always smiled suddenly ignored me completely. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But every day, it became worse. Then strange rumors started spreading. Someone claimed I had shouted at an elderly neighbor. Another person said I was always complaining about children making noise. The worst rumor was that Oliver and I were planning to report several families to the council because of parking problems. None of it was true. Not a single word. Yet people believed it. One Saturday afternoon, we hosted a small barbecue, hoping to get to know everyone better. Almost every family politely declined. Only one person came, Mrs. Evans. She had lived on the street for over 30 years. After everyone else had turned us down, she quietly sat beside me. "I don't think you deserve what's happening," she said softly. I looked at her in confusion. "What do you mean?" She hesitated before answering. "Rachel has been telling people that you're fake, that you're only pretending to be nice until everyone trusts you." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "But why?" Mrs. Evans sighed. "Because before you arrived, Rachel was the most popular person on the street." I sat there speechless. Everything suddenly made sense. The cold looks, the whispers, the rumors. Someone had carefully planned all of it. That evening, I told Oliver everything. He wanted to confront Rachel immediately, but I stopped him. "If she's lying," I said, "she'll make a mistake sooner or later." So instead of arguing, we started paying attention, without saying a word to anyone. Over the next few weeks, we noticed something strange. Every time Rachel visited another neighbor's house, a new rumor about us appeared the very next day. It couldn't be a coincidence anymore. Then something happened that changed everything. One Monday morning, a courier delivered an expensive laptop to our house. I was working upstairs when the doorbell rang. By the time I came down, the parcel had disappeared. The courier's tracking app clearly showed it had been delivered, but it was gone. Oliver frowned. "This isn't just about rumors anymore." That same evening, we ordered a small security camera and installed it above our front door. Neither of us knew. That one little camera was about to expose far more than a stolen parcel. The camera was so small that no one noticed it. Not even Rachel. For the next few days, nothing unusual happened. Then, on Thursday afternoon, my phone vibrated while I was shopping. Motion detected. I opened the camera app. Rachel walked onto our porch, looked around to make sure no one was watching, picked up a package that had just been delivered, and calmly walked back to her house. I couldn't believe my eyes. When I got home, Oliver watched the recording in complete silence. "We finally have proof," he said. But I wasn't satisfied. One stolen package wouldn't explain months of lies. So we waited. A few days later, the neighborhood announced its annual summer street party. Almost every family would be there. Rachel volunteered to organize the event, just as she did every year. She loved being the center of attention. The afternoon of the party arrived. Music filled the street. Children laughed. Neighbors chatted over tea and homemade cakes. Rachel walked around smiling, greeting everyone like the perfect neighbor. Then she tapped her glass. I just want to thank everyone for making the street feel like one big family. People applauded. That was the moment I stood up. Before we finish, I said politely, I'd like to show everyone something. The street fell silent. Oliver connected my phone to the large TV the committee had set up for photos from previous events. Instead, the security footage appeared on the screen. Everyone watched Rachel walk onto our porch. Everyone watched her steal our package. No one spoke. Rachel's face turned pale. She tried to laugh. There must be some misunderstanding. Then Mrs. Evans slowly stood up. No, she said. I think it's finally time everyone hears the truth. She explained how Rachel had spent months visiting neighbors, spreading lies about anyone she felt threatened by. One by one, other neighbors admitted they had believed those stories without ever asking us if they were true. The room filled with uncomfortable silence. Rachel looked around, hoping someone would defend her. No one did. A member of the neighborhood committee quietly said, Rachel, I think it's best if you step down from organizing community events. A week later, the police dealt with the stolen parcel, and Rachel was required to return everything she had taken. Within a month, she sold her house and moved away. The street became peaceful again. One evening, as Oliver and I sat in our garden, Mrs. Evans smiled and said, Some people think they can build their happiness by destroying someone else's. She looked at me and added, But the truth always finds its way home. For the first time since moving there, our neighbors waved, smiled, and stopped to talk. We hadn't won because we got revenge. We won because the truth finally spoke louder than the lies. Do you think Grace handled the situation the right way? Tell us in the comments.